The Nun is a story in which we investigate.
And out of the ground, the Lord God formed every beast of the field.
The Nun is a story in which we investigate the origins of this demonic entity that will eventually be responsible for haunting the Warrens and entering into their lives and you know, ending up in The Conjuring 2. If the audience is watching it is open to a new type of Conjuring Universe movie, they will go on a journey with the characters and hopefully be drawn into this story, this investigation that gets progressively more and more intense and more scary, and also ties in with the Conjuring universe. But hopefully, you know, I wanted to make something fresh and original and unexpected, so that, like good horror, you don't know what's about to happen around the next corner.
There's more of it.
Another puzzle.
Father, is this our answer to whether the grounds are still home?
When we first meet Sister Irene, she is a young woman who is a novitiate in the church. She's on the path to becoming a nun. And that's not an easy accomplishment to try and achieve. It takes a lot of effort and energy, and it's a continuous struggle for self-perfection. So there's this young woman who doesn't think she's perfect on a journey to reach a place where she is supposed to be perfect.
The Nun, for me, has a very different look to the whole film, and even down to the medieval sort of horror setting in Eastern European during the 1950s. And so not only does it take place in a creepy abbey convent, you know, in Eastern Europe, but also the time period on that. And so I don't think I've seen like a mainstream medieval horror, and I don't know why. That is so exciting. It's almost like classic Italian horror film that I haven't seen in a long time.
You don't actually do the gun shot, or you go off there. He go off his action, so you're more like coming in wherever you can. And
I don't do the...
yeah.
The story, I think, has a couple layers to it, and I also want to reflect that in the location as well. So, you know, in the first act, we're sort of on the surface or on the outside of the castle. In the second act, we cross over. Now we're inside the castle and on the ground floor and the upper levels. And then in the third act, we start to go deeper into the castle and underneath it as we start to get into the real grit and grime of not just the story, but also the castle. So those are the things I was sort of thinking about when I sort of plotted out and structured the movie.
Action. Damien.
I use CG when necessary, but I'm a fan of trying to do things for real as much as possible in camera. So both the effects, but also the locations. I wanted the film to be, you know, a grounded, atmospheric movie, heightened, you know, through the terror. But if it feels real, that can also transmute through the actors, the performances, the scares.
When we made Conjuring 2, people really love, you know, the nun character, the main antagonist. And so it became, you know, felt like a natural thing to do was kind of expand on her story, where she came from, you know, find out a little bit about her origin and where her character would ultimately go.
Hello?